Overwatch fans, welcome to the end of week 7 of the Overwatch Tranquility Tournament. Tonight, we will see if Poison can indeed halt the power of Animal Instinct with Venomous versus Lynx ESports tonight in the Transcendence division. I'm Captain Jack on the play-by-play tonight, joined by Juke on analysis. How is everything going this evening, Juke?
Doing good, surviving. It's been a while since I've been on the mic, so glad to be here and see two of these teams fighting for survival tonight. This match means a lot to both of them for their playoff chances. Basically a must-win for Lynx Esports, and Venomous really looking to win this one if they want to get a good foot in that Group D of Transcendence here.
I can definitely agree with you that based on that, looking at their previous win-loss ratios, Lynx and Venomous essentially have not won a single game this entire season so far. Venomous did end up winning last week due to a team bowing out of the tournament, but other than that, both of these teams are literally neck and neck for that bottom spot. So Lynx Esports got to take it away tonight if they're going to make it into the playoffs. If our teams are ready to go, our first map of the evening is going to be taking us to control map Elios, which is going to be an incredible match. If it is literally a boop central on two of those different maps, we could see a lot of different heroes being included. We will not be seeing any Echo tonight, folks. For our hero bands, we've got Reinhardt on the tank, McCree, Widow, and Echo on damage, and Brig on support. So without that huge main tank that we typically see, it's going to be interesting to see what comes of the compositions. Will we be seeing a lot of dive coming out, especially as we head to map number 1 here on Elios, Widow's Playground, the Elios Ruin.
Yeah, first I want to specify these are both good teams. Lynx does not have any wins because they have only played one match. They are replacing a team that dropped out earlier, and it looks like we may have a minor issue.
Oh, okay. It looks like we have some oh yes, we do have some changes to make. The map pool this time around is Lijiang Tower, Nepal, or Oasis. So it looks like, unfortunately, I love me some good Boob Central, but it's not going to be, we're not going to be headed, unfortunately, to Elios. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get that corrected and see where Lynx Esports is going to take us to start off. See, I had not read enough on the notes to see that Lynx is actually replacing the team. So we have very little information, I guess, based on how a Lynx Esports will do in this tournament if they are indeed replacing the team. The only information we have is based on the last match that they played. They ended up losing 1-3 in the Pool D matches. They were also running a couple of subs during their match last week as well. So it will be interesting to see what Lynx Esports will be bringing tonight. I'll go ahead and take a moment to introduce our teams for the evening. For the side of Venomous, our starting lineup is Mr. O, Absent, Meccan, Blungy, Fine, and Manio. And for Lynx Esports, we've got Mark, Joe45, Ryan, Rosin, Big Boop, and Payne. And I have a feeling with the name Big Boop, especially coming in on the heels, we might be seeing some Lucio action this evening. So
look,
definitely
you don't know.
excited.
That could be a Brig specialist. We're looking for those whip shots off the map. Oh, but there's no Brig tonight,
no
right?
Brig. No Brig tonight, though. So
okay, well then Big Boop clearly not going to get anything done. Let's just go to the next one. No Brig.
All right, so it looks like Lynx Esports have went ahead and solidified on Lijiang Tower. We're going to be starting off at the night market tonight, which again is a good booping map. I've played Hammond on this map many a times, and if you have that team that just wanting to stick to that outer ring outside of the objective, it is indeed a beautiful booping spot. If not, control inside the objective can be taken a number of different ways. You can have a beautiful dive composition come in, do an incredible amount of damage, or you can see what is coming out for the side of Lynx Esports right now. It looks like they're going for more of a bunkerish style composition with the double shield.
Yeah, it looks like both teams will be running the double shield. Both teams will be running Lucio, Sim to get there quickly. The only difference here is a Baptiste versus a Moira. Both can offer a lot of heals, but it looks like they are set up on the point, and Mark is able to get the first pick.
That is true. It is a huge fight, literally timing it out exactly to the drop-off as we see them. Oh, no. What? Alrighty then. So, Blizzard has decided to shut down. I saw the note there in the chat. It decided to shut down the server and restart the game for us. And
yeah,
it looks
some technical issues here. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is an awesome match tonight. While we go ahead and see if we can't work through this issue, it looks like teams based on their composition playing incredibly smart, where Lynx Esports was coming out with the Baptiste looking to use the immortality field to support the bunker. I feel like the importance of Venomous coming out with the Moira was looking to do that damage through the shields. Of course, Moira's abilities, those death balls can go through the shields of the opponent without any issue, and unless you have they did have the Sigma, but Diva as well can suck up those balls. Otherwise, it's literally just bouncing off the walls, doing a heck of a lot of damage, shield or no shield. It looks like we're going to go for take two here on Lijiang Tower in the night market, and I have a feeling we might see some swaps based on the fact that both teams know what they're coming in with this time around.
I have to say, I think both teams are going to stick with the same compositions.
Okay.
Again, everything they were running seems to be pretty meta. With this current set of bans, it does seem like double shield is kind of the preferred rollout, as well as the Sim on this particular map, Lucio for control. It all seems like pretty standard stuff. Again, the only difference there was the Moira versus the Baptiste. Both are good against this kind of heavy shield lineup in their different ways, with Coalescence and the Moira orbs going through shields, and Baptiste just tearing them down with that window. So we'll see if the team's different answers work. We were getting baited with a possible hog, but it looks like they're just going to run the exact same thing, go for the same strat, and jump down in the middle.
And literally, we are seeing a replay of what happened first time around. Let's see if the same pick will come in first here for Mark. It looks like it will be unsuccessful as the immortality field getting taken down by Meccan right there. And okay. What is going on, Blizzard? Whoa. And it's always the same spot, too, like 10 seconds into Lijiang Tower.
It's just long enough for us to think there's a game happening, and then there isn't.
Yeah, Blizzard jebaited. That's literally what's happening right now, folks. Blizzard is jebaiting us left, right, and center this evening. I'm honestly not for certain what we're going to do right now, because if the servers aren't supporting the game, what is our next steps there, Juke?
I don't know. Luckily, we have the right man for the job here. If Cav decides we need to do something else, I am. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if there's a way around this. I feel like we're being bullied by Jeff right now. That's really the only explanation for what's happening. Yeah, they say Blizzard does not support Tier 2, but it looks like we are being beaten over the head for attempting. So we'll see if there's any way around this. I am the lobby host, so I need to try to figure out what they want to do.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and check and see if there are any issues with Overwatch concerning the servers right now. But otherwise, folks, it seems we didn't see any swaps on the side of either team for that match. It looks like they're coming in to be incredibly powerful, and the focus is very supported for both teams. Like we've said before, these teams look pretty even kill. Like we have a pretty good history for Venomous during the stage one portion where they went undefeated but in the wrong direction. Whereas Lynx Esports coming in not having a clue really as to where all their skills are lying, and currently sitting with essentially their entire team, both primaries and secondaries, sitting in here. It could put us into a very interesting situation this evening. We could be seeing a lot of swaps coming out for Lynx Esports, depending on if their main roster is more so those that are skilled in particular heroes, and they're those sitting on the sidelines right now are those that are maybe more skilled with dive composition, double sniper, things that you typically see out of various types of different skill banks for DPS or tank plays. So it should be interesting to see how this ends up going down. It looks like we are going to see. We are working on a workaround, and I'm not seeing anything on Overwatch news right now to suggest that there are issues with the server. Of course, that doesn't mean that they don't exist, as we're seeing this evening, folks. So
Yeah, this has been happening occasionally recently. You'll see these like lobbies just kind of die. I haven't seen one die like back to back like that, and I have not seen one die at the same spot twice in a row.
yeah,
So
that
so again, hopefully we're not cursed. I know a guy who does a little bit of voodoo, so I'm gonna give him a call, see if we can kind of get that reversed, some kind of anti-hex going on. I'm seeing what we can do on the magical front, because there's not much I can do on the server hosting front. You don't really have any choices as far as where it goes. You can't do like a private game hosted on your own. We're at the mercy of Blizzard, so we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
yeah, and it looks like based on some of the news that I'm seeing on Blizzard.com, it looks like they're having issues with download speeds. But other than that, and that might be where we're coming in at. As you all know, we play from our own home. So, based on the network bandwidth of everyone that's playing the game, if we're having an issue connecting to Blizzard, that might be where we're coming down at. We're going to go ahead and reset the lobby, see if making a new lobby might help that out, establish a better connection for us. And once we get that set up and going, we'll be sure to do so. But in the meantime, if you are enjoying the action that you see here at Overwatch Tranquility, don't forget to hit that heart and punch that bell at the top of your screen. You can also hit that subscribe button. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some really cool emotes, as well as supporting our amazing community. So be sure to hit those buttons, show us how much you love us, and if you hit that bell, then you don't have to worry about when the schedule comes out, because you'll get notified every time it's online, whether it's through your PC or your mobile device. So how are we looking at bringing it? Looks like we have almost everyone back in here. We're having an issue with one member of Lynx Esports right now, it seems, but other than that, we are
And
almost
it also seems like the meta is they are all blaming this particular teammate, like it's always his fault for being late. So just giving you a little taste of what's going on in the chat. Every team has that person that's always late or disconnecting or something, looking at you fighting potatoes. So so yeah, it looks like we should be getting started soon, as long as the designated scapegoat gets back here for Lynx. I think we are about ready. Hopefully, going into Lijiang Tower. you know, I have a strong feeling that they're going to run like a Symmetra double shield Lucia kind of thing on both teams. Teleport to the center. Well, I guess that's if it's night market. Depending on what map. I am looking forward to Garden. It is going to be a much better chance for teams to run dive instead of the double shield. I feel like double shield, you are really locked down in position in places where you can get flanked pretty easily, unless you're coming from that white room with the second bridge from sort of the back of the point.
Yep.
There's really nowhere else that you want to be with that double shield. So a dive comp from both teams could give them a lot more versatility. And it looks like they are both ready.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Take 3 as we go ahead and head back into Lijiang Tower. Now, this map is absolutely beautiful. I cannot continue to say all the good things about Blizzard's games, because even the structure outside of the map just is always so beautiful. This night skyline that we see going on right here just absolutely brings a lot of flavor to the Lijiang Tower map, which I absolutely enjoy. We actually are going to be headed this time around to the control center for our first map here on Lijiang Tower. So again, that double shield meta we might see once again coming out from both sides. Probably not the Symmetra, because it's a pretty quick jaunt onto the objective. Not really a lot of objective gained right there. It looks like we are going to be seeing what's been dubbed the new GOATs, Vice not having Reinhardt in play right now, where you have the Reaper May coming in for the side of Lynx Esports. Although it looks like Blungy for Venomous looking
probably just for the TP. Just for the TP, I believe.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like they're gonna get that Symmetra out here. Yep, it looks like that is the case, and gonna go ahead and swap over to that Reaper, but they're gonna go ahead and speed in relatively quickly already. We see the Blizzard coming out right there from Meccan and that gun, looking to see if they can end up getting a freeze to start things off. The Hulk comes up, and not really a hook to assist with that, so just trying to get damage behind it. Immortality coming up as we see the wall from Meccan separating them out from the rest of the team. Manio able to follow up on Bip Boop as Rosen gets taken down by Fine right there. Blungy in the backline trying to get some work done, but Mark ends up taking them down as the Maywall comes up from Ryan, separating them out so that they can focus on that Reaper in that backline. As control already going to the side of Venomous, the fight continuing on as Mistro following up onto Mark. Immortality and Shields coming up right now, but it looks like Lynx Esports going to go ahead and push back as Absent sends out the Coalescence to assist with that push.
Yeah, one of the keys to these fights with this lineup coming in from Lynx is when that lamp goes down. If you see the lamp from Baptiste go down very early and they're not able to stabilize or get any kills, the fight is really not going to go in their favor. As you see, this is an opportunity where the lamp would have been big, but they were kind of split up. So good use of the map architecture, letting some of the team walk in a position where the lamp wouldn't have helped them anyways. And Venomous at 40% here, but big ultimates coming up for Lynx. It looks like they will have the freeze, and I believe that should be available for both teams.
That is true. We've got the bongos and the beat online as well. And here comes the Blizzard already out for Meccan, as Blungy getting the double kill on the Pain, and Mark going to go ahead and continue to push them back. Rosen going to find themselves off the side of the map as Fine gets that additional kill onto Joe. 45, 65% and climbing for Venomous.
Yeah, and you just have to expect to lose some of these fights. This kind of throwback meta that they're running with the May Reaper double shield, it is so difficult to get through these choke points, as there's a good wall coming in from Ryan, splitting off Fine. They're not going to be able to get the punish.
Oh man! Blungy getting the quintuple blossom right there, as Joe able to take them out from the Blizzard thrown by Ryan. did an incredible amount of damage. The wall placed by Meccan that kept them set absolutely kept things going. We see now the beat coming in along with the Gravitic Flux, only looking to grab one, but there's not enough time for them to touch 100-0 for Venom.
Yeah, this again, this throwback meta to the double shield with the May Reaper, it is just so difficult to attack into your opponent if they are running a similar comp. That's why I really liked Blungy going on that Symmetra to get Venomous to the point first. It just means so much having those extra few inches and making the enemy attack into you instead of vice versa. So we've seen this particular stage a few times before. I think we both know what's coming.
I think we do, and it looks like they're going to stick on the heroes that they chose the first time around as well, just the only difference being that Moira and Batiste for either team, and already we see it coming up. The rock came out from Fine, but didn't end up landing on anyone coming out of that TP, and Mark gonna get the first two picks onto Blungy and Mystero as they go ahead and move their way across the objective. Freezes looking to see if they can grab a tank or two, but Rosen with the triple kill right there rings out the team kill as they go ahead and grab the objective as soon as it unlocks.
Yeah, and I have to give big credit to Ryan there. His ice wall on the May split up Venomous and made it so 2 people were out of the fight. The other 4 were in. They got frozen, and that's basically what won them the fight. Against anybody but May, choke points are your friend. You like to have the cover. Against May, they're your enemy. They get you cut off. So it changes how you play, and Venomous are having a hard time dealing with that.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen as they push in once again. Amp Matrix coming out right now for Pain as they try to make their way in. The Symmetra turrets keeping them at bay, though, as Mark and Ryan both getting picks on the objective. Rosen following up on Meccan right now as they continue to push back. The teleporter set up in the back line, looking to see if they could get behind them. Will end up being shut down there by Rosen as they go ahead and clear the objective of Venomous once again. 45% and climbing for Lynx ESports.
Yeah, and it looks like they will be swapping over to the Doomfist as an answer to kind of get in there quickly and try to disrupt Lynx while they are getting everyone inside. So we'll have to keep an eye on Meccan and see if he's kind of able to open things up, since it is very hard to take space with this double tank.
That is true, and the Hulk Gravitic come in, but Big Boop with the beat to save the day comes in as we see now the teleporter onto point along with the double. Symmetra walls looking to do some damage all over the place. Meccan able to follow up onto Rosen finally after they get the initial pick onto Fine. It is a 5v5 fight right now on the objective as blows trade blue and red across the objective, trying to hold off of this corner side, but it looks like Blungy and Mystero will go ahead, grab the objective for the side of Venomous and start their percentage climb.
Yeah, and a great combo there from Mystero and Fine to open up that fight. The pull, Gravitic Flux, able to pick up 5. Meccan just charged in right after that. You can see he was able to get 100% ult charge in that one fight, so he was definitely doing some damage as Lynx tries to move back in with her own Gravitic Flux.
The Gravitic Flux ends up grabbing 4 as the bongos end up going down, gets shot down by Joe as the Amp Matrix trying to do some damage, but ends up getting negated by the push coming in from Venomous. Instead, Absent with the Coalescence ends up allowing the team to clean up as they continue their percentage climb.
Yeah, and a great job there on the defense. What Venomous is looking to do is sort of initiate the fight. I think they were being a little too slow to get that done previously. So now they are choosing when the fights happen, and that is your benefit on the defense. As good wall, not able to get as many splits as they would like.
Yep, the wall comes up as the bongos in reply from Joe, looking to see if they can do some damage around the sides of that wall, but gonna end up being unsuccessful as Rosen getting taken down by Meccan at the beginning of that fight. They're trying to see if they can continue to make it go as the Blizzard now coming down from Ryan ends up getting 3, looking to see if they can come in with the cleanup. Gravitic Flux coming in from Fine, able to take down Joe, but Mark is cleaning it up right now. Rosen back in the fight, ends up taking down Meccan. The only one left is Fine on the objective, and as they meet the percentage of Lynx Esports, they will get it taken away once again. Lynx in final fight territory for this objective.
Yeah, and you see them moving over to these Desperation Heroes. They are able to get Ministro onto the point for the touch. Meccan coming in with him, and he's able to get the May. That is a big pick.
That is going to be huge for them right now as the Gravitic Flux now coming out on the objective, ends up getting 3. Mistero coming in with the slam, ends up taking down Pain, but Mark following up on Manio right there as we see the 3v3 now on the objective for Rosen and Mark. Big boop sending Mistero right off of the side. Still holding on to control as overtime ticks away, 100-88, tying up this map right now for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, great job there from both teams. I liked what I saw as far as initiations. It was really just came down to a hair's difference on all of those fights. But I am very interested to see what they are going to be running on Gardens. It's much more open. If you are running that double shield, there is a good chance you're going to get stuck in a corner and chipped down. So it looks like both teams will be opting to more mobile compositions, as we are going to see Winston Diva as the center line there for Venomous, and a Winston Ball coming in from Lynx. The Ball can be a lot more survivable, but probably not as versatile. You don't have that eat. You can just kind of bounce around and be annoying. But that's what Ball does best. Let's see if he's able to bring it in for Lynx.
That is true. We also have the Far Mercy coming in for Venomous with Rosen already on that soldier, expecting that to come in. Meccan ends up getting the first pick onto Big Boop with Fine following up onto Ryan. So it's already a 4v6 fight as Venomous looking to take control of the objective. The Boop comes in onto Rosen as Pain ends up meeting their demise as well to Meccan. Fine following up on Mark, and that is going to be a clear of the objective as Venomous goes ahead and takes control.
Yeah, a big impact there coming in from the pharmacy of Venomous. Meccan was able to do a lot of damage, also able to boop his quote-unquote counter in the soldier. It's just very difficult to get space for the soldier to actually get any work done. In general, you are going to say it's going to take 2 heroes to take down the pharmacy. Otherwise, they're just going to have too much sustain. As Joe able to get...
Joe immediately with the ball and chain ends up taking down Blungy very early as Ryan follows up on Meccan, taking out the Faro right there. 30% and climbing right now for Venomous. They are currently down as the uppercut ends up finding Manio. Ryan, man on a mission right now on that Doomfist, just getting hit after hit on the team as Joe again with the ball and chain ends up taking down Blungy. The only one left on the objective right now is Mistero trying to hold on but gets punched out by Mark as we see them go ahead and take control from them with 46% for Venomous.
Yeah, Doomfist can be an interesting pick here. Normally you expect him as like an anti-bunker because he can just sort of punch in, get a bunch of shields, and get out. But with no stuns on Venomous, he pretty much has free reign. So if he is able to actually land his abilities, he's going to do a lot of damage.
All right, Tac Visor already coming out from Rosen, ends up following up on Meccan right there, looking to see if they can get an additional Diva Bomb coming out from Fine as well as the Valkyrie and Pulse Bomb get used. Not a lot of damage coming out from that, though, as the res comes in on Meccan. Rosen will take down Manio, and it looks like it is blue and red all over this kill feed right now. It looks like it is coming back, though. Lynx Esports able to secure the objective and continue that percentage climb.
Yeah, and it looks like we're seeing some swaps. So they will be getting away on Venomous from the pharmacy. They're going to go to their own fist and run the Hack Fist here, which you have not seen in quite some time. But generally the idea is they just kind of go as a 2-person unit, the Fist and the Sombra, and see if they can make mischief in the back lines. As they
all right. Well, the mischief has already started as Joe ends up getting hacked in the backline right there, but will get healed up. The Nano going in onto Mark, looking to see if he can do some damage as the Primal now gets popped. Blungy ends up taking down Ryan as they move their way into the objective. 80% and climbing right now for Lynx Esports as they continue to hold on to control. Rosen ends up finding Blungy with the Helix Rockets as Mark getting a double kill of their own on the objective. Fine and Mark trade blows getting their own kills apiece, but Control still holding on for Lynx as they continue to feed in. Ryan now back in with the fist, ends up taking down Meccan and Fine with that punch and up and elbow drop. Overtime now ticking away for Lynx Esports as they go ahead and continue to hold on. Coalescence now coming out from Absent as the Tac Visor comes out in response from Rosen, looking to see if they can get a pick. Will end up taking down Absent already. EMP coming out from Blungy, but ends up getting taken down by Joe. 45 beat drop coming in from Big Boop to save the day, and overtime will end. Lynx Esports taking away this first victory on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and a good job there by Lynx Esports. I want to highlight the tank line of, well, more like the combo of Mark and their support. I believe it was Pain on the Ana there. Whenever you're seeing a tank get focused, but still get kills, and still stay alive, and do a great job, that is the support. So Pain doing a great job keeping him alive, despite the fact that Mark really was getting a lot of hate and focus onto that Winston. But yeah, for me, that is the difference in that last few fights. Mark doing a great job disrupting, and Pain doing a great job supporting during all that fighting.
All right. Well, it looks like Lynx Esports already making a name for themselves this evening as they take the first map on Lijiang Tower. As we head to Assault, Venomous will have the choice between Volskaya Industries, Temple of Anubis, or Paris. But, I mean, come on. Who's honestly going to pick Paris right now? Just saying. But it looks like we may end up having some swaps from the teams. It looks like we have it. Oh, no. There we go. Mark coming back in. Looks like we just had a little DC there at the end of the game. We might end up having some swaps depending on which map Venomous ends up picking right here. But I gotta say, it seems like we're seeing the battle between the DPS right now. Absent able to come out of that, starting halfway through that final map on Sombra, already with an EMP for the next fight. So obviously doing an incredible amount of work on that Sombra to be able to have that EMP ready for the final fight, but just the use of it ended up just being negated by the power and healing that's coming out from the side of Lynx Esports.
Yeah, I have to say, I do like the pick of the Sombra, but it felt like it came a little late. As fast as he was able to build it up, that EMP charge, it really wasn't there until the last minutes when they were kind of in panic mode already. I think if they would have swapped off that pharmacy the first time they lost a fight, it is very difficult to come back into the fight with the pharmacy once you are losing the point. They're in control. It's very difficult to retake with a pharmacy. So yeah, I liked what they did on the Hackfist. I think they could have won a big fight with the EMP, but just seconds too late. And I think that comes down to a little bit of stubbornness on their choices for the lineup.
That is definitely understandable right there. It looks like we're gonna go ahead and head to Volskaya Industries for our Assault map. No swaps on either side for this next map, so going to be interesting to see what the teams end up coming out with. We could end up seeing, again, that double shield meta that we saw during Control Point Lijiang Tower during the first couple of maps. We could be seeing some Doomfist action as well. Lots of high ground to be used here. Some Far Mercy action could also be incredible right here, but honestly, we won't know until the heroes get chosen. So while they're doing that, be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell again, hit that sub button if you're feeling froggy to support our community, and we will see what they end up coming out with. And it looks like we're going we're going with the tried and true, that double shield once again, but it looks like Absent going to stick onto the Baptiste this time around with Blungy on the Hanzo, so looking to do some damage at a distance this time around.
Yeah, the standout here for me on the defense is Manio on this Zenyatta. Zenyatta can get a lot of damage done, but notoriously difficult to protect. Also, I feel like the Transcendence is a bit harder to build up. The good news is I believe... No, Ana is actually in here, so they could swap to that Ana for the antis to stop the trance as like a counter. and really nothing to reliably beat it. On the offense, we will be seeing the Mei, so they're just going to be looking to speed in and hopefully get some separation. Looks like Lynx trying to take the high ground, I believe, for this Hanzo.
That is true, but I think with the Discord, they might be seeing a lot of power as Ryan already getting that pick onto Absent, taking now the high ground above the objective. Mark taking down Manio with the accretion as they go ahead and move their way in. Ryan will follow up onto Fine as well as a 3v6 fight, 2v1v6, 0v5 right now is the only one to fall. For the side of Lynx Esports will be Joe. They're going to go ahead and grab Objective Alpha with 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock, giving them a little over 6 minutes to take Objective Bravo.
Yeah, a good job there rotating, trying to take the high ground, but just good individual play from Ryan. Able to take down the Baptiste, which already put them in a bad situation. And then once the Zen is down, it's basically over. You cannot defend with no supports. No ultimates coming up, so both teams are just going to be looking to do kind of an eco push unless Pain can get that window.
That is true. Let's see if they can make it happen. It looks like the window now available as they move their way in, and it's going to get used. A big accretion coming through that window as the Maywall now coming up. Dragon Strike, though, from Blungy, looking to separate out the team, but really it just ends up keeping them off the objective for now. But here comes in the pushes. Ryan taking down Blungy in that back line, working their way in. Maywall doesn't end up getting a whole lot of value as Mark now following up onto Manio. Gravitic Flux comes out from Mark, looking to see if they can get it, but the Immortality will keep them up safe. And it looks like we're going to see a response to that with no Immortality to hold everything together. The bongos do get popped, though, as we see Rosen trying to hold on, but not a tick to be had. Lots of ultimates used in that fight with 5 minutes remaining on the clock for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, good job there by Ryan again. Able to get the first frag on somebody important. He was able to take down, I believe it was Blungy on the opposing Hanzo. And an entry frag just means so much. Not able to capitalize, though. And the big loss here is the ultimate percentage. Really expending a lot there from Lynx. So we'll have to see how they're able to come back into the eco game as they push now. Shield's taken down, but they are still getting some good space taken.
All right, we already see the Blizzard coming down as the Hulk comes up and getting free. They're moving their way in, looking to see if they can get some picks and will end up being successful as that Immortality goes down. Fine will take Rosen out of the fight as the accretion takes down Pain. Big Boop soon to follow. It looks like they are not going to get away. Lynx Esports is going to end up falling with another minute off the clock.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like using the barrier against a successful Blizzard. It is just too easy for the opposing team to rein in headshots. Big Boop opting to try and save his team, but it just wasn't enough. So now they do not have that available, as there are more big ultimates coming up for Venomous on the defense. 3:30 left.
All right. Well, the Blizzard comes out, but in response, Manio using the Transcendence. Dragon Strike also coming out, but the Immortality hoping to hold everyone up. Big Boop just a little outside of it. Ends up getting caught by the Dragons as Ryan taking down Absent. It's a trade of blue and red right now on the objective as they're looking to gain control. It's just Mistro and Blungy right now as we see Meccan rejoining the fight as Blungy able to get that pick onto Pain. Ryan getting the double kill, though, onto Blungy and Mistro as they look to take control. Fine now back out on the ball, looking to see if they can grab it. Will end up taking down Ryan and Rosen. Another minute wasted off the clock and not a tick to be had for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt for Lynx. That is the second time they basically won the fight, but we're not able to get any ticks. Typically on assault maps, you're kind of looking to go tick by tick, unless things go very well. But no progress at all. 2:30 left on the clock here, and they don't have anything to show for it.
Well, they are coming up on ultimates once again. Dragon Strike and Gravitic Flux available, and Manio already down to Rosen gives them a great ability to push in, but the Blizzard Hulk combo coming in once again is going to allow Lynx to fall. Both Meccan and Fine getting triple kills there on that Blizzard. Team kill ringing out, and another minute off the clock for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, that said, they are definitely ahead in ultimates coming into this next fight. Lynx have a lot available. It's just going to be a matter of comboing everything together, and most importantly, taking out that lamp from Absent. So that's what to look for. Where is the lamp, and are Lynx able to take it down in his next fight?
All right, well, the bongo's going to go ahead and start off for Mr. O as Blungy able to take down Joe, and a big eat coming in from Fine, ends up taking down Rosen's Blizzard right there. Not going to be able to lead in with that, and with Mark falling as well, both tanks out of the fight. They're going to go ahead and pull back once again, a minute 30 remaining on the clock.
Yeah, and a big mistake there from Lynx, just expecting Rosen to get it thrown from downtown. There was nobody pressuring Fine to make him use the grasp to eat that Blizzard. So he's able to get it done as it's thrown from a mile away, and now the ultimates are evening back out.
That's true. Here comes the window, and the Dragon Strike looking to do some damage, only ends up grabbing the Immortality Field there at the end. Bongo's now coming up, does grab Big Boop as Meccan takes down Mark Fine. Will Gravitic Flux Big Boop straight into the ground as Blungy now cleaning up with the double kill using the Storm Arrow on Rosen and Ryan. That's another clear of the objective. Only 30 seconds remaining for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, only one fight here. Still a lot of ultimates available from Lynx, but they are going to have to shut down Manyo with the Transcendence available, and Meccan almost has another defensive Blizzard available. They are really in trouble now. Only 18 seconds, and they're also going to have to hurry to touch that point to keep it extended and actually have a chance to win.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Dragon Strike and Gravitic Flux, but ill-timed! Ends up missing the Dragon Strike altogether as the Blizzard comes out to counter. Ends up getting the double right there for Mr. O as they move into the objective. Overtime ticking away right now. It is a 3v3 fight on the objective right now. Is Big Boop getting Big Boops with the double kill right there. Fine and Meccan cleaning up the objective right there. Lynx Esports not able to grab a single tick out of 6 minutes here on Volskaya Industries.
Yeah, and after such a promising start, really disappointing there from Lynx. I know they're heading into crunch time, TN, with that last fight, and you just have that urge to use all your ultimates. Just throw everything out as fast as you can. Make sure you get it out and don't die. Don't let the time run down. But some things combo against each other. You cannot lift and dragon. You're going to pull people out of it. So the dragon did almost no damage, and they were able to sustain through it. Venomous, they have a great win condition here. Only need to take first point and 1 tick of second if they are going to even out this series.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen right now. Looking at the side of Lynx Esports, it looks like they're going to opt into the same composition they were using before, except that Pain looking to come in on the Zenyatta this time around. Manio going to swap over to that Lucio as well so that they can try to speed in, take that high ground, probably very similar to what we saw come out from Lynx Esports. But the question is, can Lynx Esports shut them down at the choke of the objective? Or are they just going to look to try to hold the objective itself right now? And it looks like that might be what we may see here.
Yeah, I would expect Lynx to fall back to the Mega, to the side of the point if they get in any trouble. But looking to get in some damage, they have a lot of poke available here with the Zen, the Hanzo up on the high ground from Orion. And it looks like kind of the same plan as Venomous moving around. They're not going for the high ground, so looking for early pressure directly on the point. It is going to be up to the Maze here to see who they can separate.
All right, big holes coming in from either side right there, but beautiful Sigma walls coming up. Blungy and Rosen trading kills on the objective right there as Big Boot ends up getting the Immortality Field taken down. Maywall separating out from the Mega health pack right there, but they continue to hold strong as Mark being the only one to fall right there. Joe on the objective, trying to hold on, but Absent already coming out with the Coalescence. That's going to go ahead, clean everything up as Big Boop ends up finding themselves right off the side of the map. Objective Alpha is captured, and 6 minutes go to the side of Venomous to take 1 tick on Objective Alpha.
Yeah, and a very aggressive teleport in from Blungy on the Reaper, getting into the backline, really opening things up and letting his team push forward as Meccan able to follow up the big wall to close it out. The window coming in from Big Boo, they're just going to hide on Venomous and wait it out. A very smart decision here to essentially waste that ultimate.
All right, it does run some time off the clock, but that accretion coming in undefined, gonna go ahead and push them back just a little bit more. They're now set up in an interesting position. Gravitic Flux comes out, ends up getting 3. Mark able to follow up on Define on that high ground. It's a 5v6 right now on the objective. 4v6 is Joe getting the double kill right there on Dominio and Meccan. It looks like this is going to be clean up central as Mistro and Absent go ahead and send themselves right over the side. 5 minutes on the clock for Venom.
Yeah, and I was definitely worried there. Mark way out ahead of his team when he used that Gravitic Flux, but he was able to catch a lot. They were able to move in quickly on the defense and get there to help him out. So that was close to really turning the fight after they survived the Flux itself. But now coming in, they have big ultimates available on both sides. I am going to be looking for Blungy to make a play here as he's teleporting into the back.
There it comes, the Gravitic Flux being traded with the Beat and Dragons right there. Blizzard now coming out from Rosen, looking to see if they can grab anyone, but is unsuccessful. Transcendence now being popped from Pain, trying to keep everyone else together as the Bongos come out in response, as well as the Blizzard from Meccan and Mistro. They're going to go ahead and get the pick onto Pain after the Transcendence ends. Manio able to follow up onto Joe, but the feeds continuing to come in from the spawn. Now Ant Matrix from Big Koopa ends up getting pulled and taken out from the mirror with the wall right there. Venomous able to get that first tick, taking this objective and tying up the series as we head into halftime.
Yeah, first I have to give credit to Pain there. He saw Blungy with that look in his eyes. I'm gonna teleport and take you on, Mr. Robot. Man, he teleported into the backline. Pain able to take him down, but after that they followed with a questionable trance. You can absolutely use trance to save one person. That can be worth it, but you have to do it in time. Pain used the trance late. He did not save his teammate, and that's what turned the fight. Now they are 1-1 heading into halftime.
All right, folks. Well, go ahead and get your chips, get a drink, use the restroom, whatever y'all need to do. Overwatch Tranquility will be back in about 10 minutes with more amazing action. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Overwatch Tranquility Tournament. At the end of Week 7 tonight, we have Venomous versus Lynx ESports, currently sitting at 1-1 in the series this evening. I'm Captain Jack on play-by-play, joined by Juke on analysis. Juke, how was your halftime break?
It was pretty good. It wasn't much of a break. We were just talking about some other stuff. All Overwatch related though. Never off the clock.
Oh, never. Well, it looks like that is true. So we are going to be headed to our hybrid map next, I believe. So as we wait for the teams to go ahead, or for Lynx Esports to choose what map we are going to head into, you want to give us a quick synopsis of what we saw during the first half there, Juke?
All right, why don't you go ahead and test my memory? So Lujong was a 2-to-1 split going for Lynx. Both teams kind of favoring that double shield. Looks like they're asking me to do lobby stuff, and I am awful at multitasking.
That's fine. Go ahead. Nope, go ahead. I'll go ahead and take care of it. So in the first map, we saw Lynx being able to bring it back after the first map. Venomous taking control center 100-0 against Lynx Esports, showing to be a very dominant force, but Lynx Esports bringing it right back when it came to Night Market and Gardens, using a very effective dive composition in the Gardens to be able to get picks. Lots of support coming out for the tank line from their supports, being able to keep them up and keep that ticker going, allowed them to grab the objectives there on Lijiang Tower, giving them their first win of the evening. Venomous, though, being able to bring it back, a 6-minute hold on Objective B on Volskaya Industries against Lynx Esports, just being able to dominate every single fight that they came up against. Lynx Esports just not being able to find a way to shut them down. Venomous then going on to the attack, being able to grab both Objective A and that first tick on Objective B very quickly, tying them up in this series. Our next match is going to take us to the land of actors and actresses, just the beauty of cinema and television. We're headed to Hollywood for our hybrid map this evening.
Yeah, gonna be interesting here. I think this is a map that lends itself to swapping to different compositions. A lot of the escort maps are like that, so you need to be okay at just about everything. Not sure what the teams are going to favor. It seems like they are both running Zenyatta at all, which is more than I expected. So that makes me both happy and slightly confused. I'm not sure what the value of the Zen is over a Lucio or an Ana. They're not banned. We have not seen Ana at all. And Ana seems like such a high value pick, especially among the higher tiers. If you have the skill to hit those shots, they can just be so impactful. Speaking of skill, the highest skilled hero in the game, Blungy on the Torbjorn. So interesting to see this one. Seems like they are running that day one strat of the turret on the elevator.
Oh, heck yeah.
Which my real life friends could never deal with. So we'll see how Lynx is able to get there.
All right, and it looks like we're going to see Lynx Esports come in with the Orisa Hog. Rosen and Ryan taking on the double sniper right there. It's the res coming in from InQ, coming in to swap out with one of the healers. Ends up bringing Mark back into the fight. Only 30 seconds off the clock so far, as we see the halt had pulled down a couple, but going to go ahead and hold everybody together. The Accretion ends up getting some damage in, but Rosen able to take down Mistro, and without a mercy on their team, not a res to be had. So it's a 5v6 right now. They move their way into the objective. That turret gonna end up taking down Ryan, though. Without the shield to protect, gonna be very difficult. Rosen looking to see if they can take that down. Will be successful. As InQ able to bring in the res for Ryan. They're moving their way back in, and the kills are just coming in solid right there. Both Mark and Rosen able to solidify those kills as the Immortality comes up. Mr. and Blungy falling to the dynamite and hooks of Rosen and Joe 45 on that Hog and Ash. They're going to go ahead, grab Objective Alpha with 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock, giving them 5 minutes to head into the Streets phase.
Yeah, and a lot to talk about here. First, it looks like they're going to be sticking on this Torbjorn. Usually he is a first point specialist, so that is very interesting coming in from Venomous. Also, it feels like just a rock, paper, scissors lineup thing. Oh, and it looks like Joe moving in very aggressively with the whole hog, able to take down 2. They're getting a lot of progress here. So, yeah, real quick, the Mercy is great against a very slow immobile comp like that. Inku was able to get 2 reses off and make a big difference. It is also one of the only ways that Ash is viable, getting that blue beam on the Ash as often as he can. As Venomous tries to move out from spawn, and oh, looks like they walk on Bob on the high ground.
Maywall there on the high ground. Bob ends up getting halted on the high ground, but still gets the pick on Manio when that wall comes down. Now we're seeing the Amp Matrix coming out for Absent, but is going to get picked off by Rosen in that backline. Ryan soon to follow on to Mech, and that Torp turret continuing to do damage as the tanks go down is Mistro and Blungy right now holding on to the objective here at the 76-meter mark. It is a 2v3 right now. Ryan able to get that pick onto Blungy, though, as Rosen following up there will end up falling to Blungy's turret in the end. And now we're seeing some Ana coming out from Pain, looking to see if they can deal that pain in the form of anti-nades right there. Discord ends up going on to Joe as the Dragons coming out from Ryan, just looking to separate out the team as they move out of the way. Megan getting into that icicle to prevent the anti-nade from doing a whole lot of damage, but the Molten Core getting slept right there will end up getting Joe 45 there in the end, despite the hook that ended up coming now. Payne soon to fall there onto Absent, but Rosen continuing to get pick after pick is going to have to push back with the rest of the team. 3 minutes remaining on the clock.
All right, and it looks like they are finally swapping off of that Torbjorn now that Blungy has used the Molten Core. Again, very surprised to see them stick on that, but I suppose they just wanted to get the ult out there. So now high ground taken from Lynx. This is going to be very hard to deal with. Very low mobility coming in from Lynx as Bob comes in, goes right past the shield, and is able to buy a lot of space.
Ends up getting frozen out as well as the Transcendence being used. Anti-nade ends up getting in the backline, though, as the Immortality field comes up. Mr. O does end up taking down Bob, but Rosen follow up onto Absent as the Critic Flux comes out from Fine. Now we're going to see that Nano going on to Mark, looking to do some damage as now the Blizzard coming out from Meccan solidifies everything on the objective that is Lynx Esports. Joe will end up getting that pick onto Meccan there at the end, but it's no use. 2 minutes on the clock for Lynx Esports.
Yeah, and it looks like this is the second time that Payne has used that nano boost onto Mark, just letting him go in there, the projectile DPS, as Courage would say, and frag out. So great job by Mark, just sort of walking in, making a lot of space. It wasn't quite enough, but now the Bongo coming up. I like to always mention that the damage amp from Orisa is the statistically most winningest ult of any hero.
All right, well, they use the bongos on the high ground as we see the Dragons now going on. Cart ends up missing, but the Immortality field does end up getting used right there as Ryan getting the pick on the drop and Meccan right there. Dragon Strike in response as Joe takes down the Immortality. Absent, Fine, and Mr. O will all fall as we see Lynx Esports grab objective number 2, giving them 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, in a very good defensible position from Venomous taking the high ground there, but you have to stop the cart. Lynx was just able to walk onto the cart, say, okay, you come to us now, and Venomous didn't really seem like they knew what to do. They went in a little haphazard, got picked off, and that was it. So now heading into third point, 2 minutes left on the clock.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Bob coming out once again, heads way into the back line as it looks to do some damage. Looking to see if they can get those picks. We'll take down Manio as Ryan follows up on Mistero in the front line right there. It's 4v6 fight as the cart moving its way into that final VIP spot. Ryan and Mark choosing to get some additional picks right there with Payne following up on Absent. We are in final fight territory with 1.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and it looks like they're swapping Mistro onto the ball here to try and break things up in the back line, get at those double snipers, double hit scan, and he's able to do that, really breaking things up here. It's just chaos all over the point here, but I believe that Venomous is going to come out on top.
That is true with Mistro coming in on that ball, ended up disrupting a lot. Joe 45 gets the double and using the Gravitic Flux, continuing to hold on to the objective despite everything going on. Rosen now back in the fight, able to get some picks of their own, taking down Manio and Mkin as the Accretion ends up taking down Fine. Lungy now back in on the Doomfist, along with Mistro on that ball, coming in with the slam. Inku ends up falling to that big old fist as they continue to try to hold control. Joe and Rosen take it down. Here comes the hold with the Dragons, gets the double kill as they move in. Blizzard coming in from Meccan at the last second, 1.35 meters on the payload, but continues to hold as Bob now taking control of the cart. Fine and Meccan get taken out, and with 28 seconds remaining, they will grab objective 3.
Yeah, and it all really came down to an I would say optimistic ultimate from Joe 45. He was able to get a frag or two on that Sigma and just decided, look, I'm gonna get this done. He pops the Gravitic Flux. He's able to get another 2 kills, and they actually out-frag the pace of the defensive advantage. The coach in me wants to say, no, that was bad, but I mean, it worked. So props to Joe for that decision. Really single-handedly turning the fight there.
And that's why I feel like Sigma is such an underestimated hero. With everything in its kit, it's like a combination of Orisa, Reinhardt, and Diva all in one with his particular skill set. And we saw it right there. Joe just being able to hold on when the shield goes down, being able to hold together with the suck ability, stunning people out with that accretion over and over again. And then by that point, the shield's back up and they're ready to go again. So never underestimate the power of a good Sigma player, folks. But now they're headed onto the attack, looking to see if they can beat the time bank that has been set for the side of Lynx ESports. Let's see if they can make it happen.
And I think I have to do a admin thing real quick.
No worries. All right.
This needs to be spectator only. There we go.
There we go. All right, let's go ahead and see them move their way in. It looks like they're going to give up space here at the choke as they move their way on to the high ground. Venomous looking to take that advantageous position, but the double sniper up there as well, looking to see if they can get in that backline. Meccan able to get that first pick on Roses, and this Inku gets taken down by Absent with that death ball. It's a 4v6 fight on the objective as the Immortality comes up, immediately taken down by Mistro, and it looks like that is going to be a clean up for the side of Venomous, showing exactly how dangerous they really are. With 3 minutes remaining on the clock, again, they're going to grab Objective Alpha, giving them 5 minutes, 30 seconds to move their way through the streets of Hollywood.
Yeah, good job by Meccan there, getting a lot of damage done with those right clicks from the May. It is more than just the annoying you can't play left click. It can also do a lot of damage if you start hitting those headshots. Already at almost 50% charge. And also a great job on the offense of taking the high ground and contesting those double hit scan. Lungy able to take down Rosen. I believe this is going to get... Oh, but he's getting contested here, but Lungy might be able to pick him off.
Oh, and not being able to climb over that wall is going to be there as Blungy able to Sonic out Ryan with that Sonic Arrow. Absent following up on a double kill of their own with that Death Ball. They're going to go ahead and clear the streets, but I just realized no one was on the cart the whole time. So all that space they just made, they will have to end up making it again as they head to the high ground.
Yeah, that is a big mistake. I won't go into the numbers, but having 3 people on it, not hugely advantageous, but you have to have at least one. They missed out on a lot of kart progress there. It is just getting past that first turn. So big mistake there, in my opinion, from Venomous.
And once again, we're seeing Lynx Esports coming in, having a lot of ultimates in the pocket. Dragon Strike and Gravitic Flux come out, but again, untimed right there. Fine ends up getting the pick on to Pain, but that's going to be about it as they go ahead and move their way around the saloon. Now the beat coming in from Manios. The Dragon Strike comes in from Ryan. Valkyrie looking to try to keep everyone up as the Blizzard and Bob trading off right there. Gravitic Flux sending it is a battle of the Qs right now, right off the objective, and the blows are just as trading. Blungy able to get that pick on to Rose and Bob as Mark takes down Mistero there, continuing to push this cart in despite the fact they are still surviving, and just about 10 meters out from objective 2, they will take control of the cart from Venomous. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and it looks like Lynx was just able to divide and conquer there. Meccan pretty aggressive with his use of the Blizzard, throwing it into the back line and chasing up, but that just gets Meccan separated from the rest of the team. But it looks like Venomous will be swapping to a very aggressive mobile dive comp as they're able to get control of the high ground now. Big threat here as they're balled up in a corner. With Venomous ready to pounce.
And Ryan has swapped off onto that Reaper, looking to do damage in against those tanks as the DMAC ends up coming in onto Fine. Immortality and Bongos both down due to Mistero and Absent, and Ryan getting the first pick. Rosen following up on the DMAC Fine, and Ryan and Rosen just rolling Venomous right now as they go ahead and clear the objective with all those kills. Another minute off the clock.
Yeah, I was very worried about the positioning there of Lynx, but Reaper can just be so hard to dive into. I'm not really sure what the answer is going to be. And okay, I like the swap. So Absent going over to the Ana. Ana can do a lot to slow down Reaper. No big threat of the ultimate if you have the sleep available, and you can disable his passive lifesteal with that bio nade. So that's what I'm looking for in this next fight. How can they use the bio nade to open things up and cause problems?
All right, well, the dive's already going in to the back line as Bob gets thrown out onto the objective. Pulse Bomb ends up grabbing Inku as Ryan, with the double kill on the tank line, ends up holding on to that point. Bob able to follow up onto Meccan as Mark and Joe get picks of their own. Blungy does take down Rosen there at the end as they are way deep in the back line of Lynx Esports right now, just holding off for the regroup of their team. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and I believe that was a shield from Joe 45 coming at the very last second to stop that bio nade. Would have been big problems if that landed, so props to him for making that happen, as it looks like they are contesting the high ground again. Here comes the dive.
And it's going to be huge as the Beat and Primal Rage come out. Gravitic Flux ends up grabbing only Manio, and Pain will follow up on that kill as Fine takes down Mark in the sky of that Gravitic. Fine also following up onto Pain as well, and they have got Lynx trapped in the corner with only 60 seconds remaining. They will get the picks that they need, grab objective 2, and add another minute and a half to that clock.
Yeah, and I liked what they did there. It was kind of a change in target focus. Meccan saying, okay, Reaper, you are mine now. You have to deal with me. That is not a matchup that Reaper particularly likes. And Meccan able to kind of keep Reaper from doing any damage as the rest of his team was getting just dove all over, as it looks like they're continuing the aggression here. If they're able to get a few picks, could mean a lot, but I believe Lynx is going to stabilize here.
Let's see if they can shut them down. The dive coming in ended up getting the first couple picks there, as again it looks like the cart was abandoned at the beginning of that fight, having a hard time being pushed in. Diva Bomb goes into the sky, ends up finding Mark as Rosen trades out for Fine before that remake comes in. Bob coming in to attack the point as the Nano ends up going in onto Mistero. Now the Primal looking to do some damage, ends up taking down Ryan and Pain as they go ahead and continue to hold on to control. Absent still pushing that cart right now as the Bongos now coming out for Joe 45. Rosen able to follow up on Manio as Mistero falls to Joe, and now we're going to see Mekin back in on that Doom, but immediately getting taken down by Mark. Blungy able to follow up onto Rosen as a continued fight for this objective. Blungy trying to hold on, but ends up getting taken down by the shotguns of Ryan. 60 seconds remaining on the clock, and not an ult to be had, with swaps now on the line for the side of Venomous.
Yeah, I do like these swaps. It gives them a lot of answers to what's coming. The problem here is going to be stopping Ryan, I believe. But I also want to give a little shout out to this throw. Typically, you don't think of Monkey Rage as a big damage roll, but very good mechanical skill, getting a lot of kills when he was on them. They are now pushing in. Mekin able to do a lot of big freezes here. I think they're going to separate the Sigma.
All right, and they end up being successful. Mr. O able to get that final kill onto Marcus. The res comes in, ends up getting denied right there as the Valve trying to hold everything together right now. Ends up wearing out Blossom. Coming out from Ryan, ends up getting stuck between the double shield. Pulse bomb out from Blungy as Mark now returning as the Hammond, looking to see if they can disrupt this cart in the same way it was done to them. Mistro ends up getting the pick onto Ryan. It's the 4v6 fight right now on the objective as both immortalities go down. Blungy ends up getting the pick onto Inku. It is a continued fight for control as overtime continues to tick away. Blungy ends up falling Rosen as Mistro gained a double kill there on the window. Being popped out from Absent, and the Blizzard online right now ends up getting thrown onto the cart. Now a minute will be added to each team as the team kill rings out, and objective 3 completed by Venomous.
Yeah, Venomous able to come out in the end there in overtime and bring it to extra rounds. Of course, we have to think what would have happened if they just had somebody on cart for that streets phase and heading into third. There was a lot of times that they just didn't have anybody on it. Of course, that gives you a lot of power to win the fights, but it's not about winning fights. It's about pushing that cart. So we can only speculate how things would have been different there. But yeah, on the attack, I have to say a lot of good swaps coming in from Venomous. It seemed like they always had the right answer for what Lynx was looking to do. That is kind of one of the benefits of running as the offense. As the defense, you can only say, let's pick something sort of well-rounded and see how it goes. As the offense, you usually get to pick the exact rock for their scissors. So heading into the attack again here, it looks like they will be keeping Blungy on that Hanzo. He's been doing a lot of work all night on that hero. Mekin looking to get some balls as they move in on the offense.
All right, let's see if they can go ahead and make it happen. Rosen also sticking on that Reaper for this fight. They only have a minute on the clock, although Venomous was able to take Objective Alpha within that first minute when they did their push in round 2. Let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. Again, the Hulk comes in, but doesn't end up grabbing Mark there at the last second. Maywald coming up, separating out the teams as, again, Venomous makes their way onto the high ground, and it looks like the alert coming out. Hulk comes up, looking to see if they can get the pick on Mark, but will end up being unsuccessful. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do. They can hold it at high ground all they want, but they gotta drop down and touch the objective. The Hulk comes out, ends up getting 2, but not a pick to be had, as the Maywall looking to see if it can separate out, does not end up getting that value. Ryan now holding off the high ground with that Maywall. 10 seconds on the clock. Here comes the window out from Absent, but now the Immortality holding everything together. The Rock comes in, but only hitting Mistro while they're in protect. Now we're seeing Blungy get the first pick. Ends up Sonic Arrowing Rosen, and now the picks are coming in overtime. Ticks away. Manio getting the double kill right there onto Mark and Kane as we see the hold continue to hold. Ryan and Inku will end up falling there at the end, and in overtime, we will end up seeing them grab Objective Alpha and move into the streets phase.
Yeah, the Baptistes are just so critical in this matchup, the way it works right now. If you are able to get that ultimate first, which just builds criminally fast compared to just about everything else in the game, you have a huge advantage. They were able to take down the shields, and after that, Mekin just walks in and says, you are all frozen now, you cannot play. As they move in with the Gravitic Flux, able to get a lot of pulls here, but the lamp is able to save.
That is true. Ends up getting 1 as Mr. O taking down that Immortality. Now the Gravitic Flux pulling just about everyone off cart, but the Dragon Strike looking to see if they can counter. Bungie ends up taking down Ryan as Rosen follows up on Mistero, but the Transcendence looks to save the day there from Pain as they continue to try to get picks on the objective. Bungie ends up taking down Rosen as Pain taking down Manio. They're in the backline. They're looking to see if they can chase down Pain. Will end up being successful. It is a 3v2 fight right now. 4v, 5v as we see the spawns coming in from the side of Venomous. They will go ahead and clear the objective and keep pushing through the streets.
All right, Venomous, it is overtime. You cannot leave the cart. Please do not leave the cart. If they leave that for a moment, it will tick down and it will be over. Lynx just need to win one fight there, and they do have a Blizzard available, one from Meccan as well. It's just going to be a matter of who gets caught and when, as I believe they are going to look to defend this from Lynx. It's a bit risky.
All right, well, the Blizzard comes out, ends up grabbing 2, but the Immortality trying to keep everyone up, and Objective 2 is captured in overtime as Meccan and Blungy getting picks onto Joe and Payne. It's 4v6 as the doors open up. Blungy ends up taking down Ryan right between those doors and continues to chase down the team into the .3 spawn. That cart is continuing to move, and it looks like a lot of ultimates are going to be online for them to be successful.
Yeah, and if you're Lynx here, you just have to make sure that you don't panic. It feels so urgent as the cart keeps moving in. It is almost a second cap of the whole map here. As they have to regain composure, get pulled into the dragon. Good lamp to save them though, as it looks like they're starting to trade ultimates.
All right, the Transcendence also comes out to try to deal with Bob, as now the Hulk ends up bringing everybody in on the cart for the Blizzard, and here it comes. The Bongos looking to solidify as they go ahead and race to the sky. Mark getting the quad kill right there will finally clear the cart at the 49-meter mark right before Objective 3.
Yeah, and as much as you're happy there, as Lynx that you finally stopped progress, that went so far for Venomous. They have a big task. They have to capture first, which is not a guarantee on Hollywood, and they have to push it past the second point. They have to make a lot of progress here, so I'm thinking, what do they do to guarantee that they're able to get it? Do they run a Bastion if they're able to get control of the point? Do they run a Bastion on first point to try to make sure that they can tear down their shields? I'm really wondering what Lynx is going to come up with here to get back into this game, as they only have 1 minute 28 seconds to get it so damn far on this point.
Well, they did end up grabbing the objective within that first minute, same as Venomous. So it might just be that the teams are not as great on first point. That will give them 30 seconds to be able to push the car and into overtime as far as they could possibly get. My recommendation would be to try to take the point the same way you did before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then possibly switch to that bunker composition if at all possible. You do have the ability to negate the Gravitic Flux from Fine, both with Joe and Ryan coming in on that Orisa and May. They can just drop straight back down to the cart and avoid that Gravitic altogether. And it looks like Decretion already missing as the Hulk comes in just a little bit late, and they pull 3 down as the Maywall separate out the teams, with one a little bit more successful than the other. The Limps now coming up as they look to get picks. Joe will end up taking down Manio as Rose clean up on the Fine as the Lamps end up going down. And it looks like with 60 seconds remaining on the clock, they will end up getting those picks they need. Blungy continuing to get shot after shot, but will end up falling here in the end. Despite it being a 1v4, it took a little bit of time to get that final kill solidified. They will give themselves just about a little over 30 seconds to push it just as far as they can go.
Yeah, and it looks like their choice here for second point is going to be Rosen onto that Ashe. So Rosen going to be looking to control the high ground, but it could be difficult against Blungy, who has been doing fantastic on this Hanzo. Also credit to Joe. That is the second fight he basically won for his team with this pull. So moving into the second point here, we'll see if they're able to...
And that is a huge pull right there. Maywall coming up as the Dragon Strike ends up grabbing 4 on the objective, and no, they haven't even gotten into overtime yet. Team kill ringing out loud and proud. They're not going to be able to touch Lynx ESports. Ends up falling this fight as Venomous taking the lead after the half, 2-1 here on Hollywood.
Yeah, and you have to like what they did there. So Venomous saying,
What is this?
we know what you're going to be. We have big ultimates available. They caught him right as they were coming out the door and just smashed him up. You were able to see the Dragon Strike coming in again here. Great decision and great play there from Venomous.
That worked out incredibly well for them. Bungie getting that quad kill was exactly what they needed to happen. 61 Elim, 69% kill participation during that match. Bungie definitely showing to be a DPS among heroes during this match on Hollywood, but we're not done yet, folks. We still have our map 4 headed to Escort, where Lynx Esports will get a chance to redeem themselves. Will they be able to find that inner primal instinct to be able to successfully beat the toxins of Venomous, or will Venomous be able to come out on top, grabbing their actual first victory this season against Lynx Esports?
Yeah, and again, a lot on the line for these teams here. Lynx, they came in to replace a team. So their first match was the first game of the second stage, but they lost. And they are basically in a must-win situation here. If they do not bring this back and win this map, that's probably them out of the playoffs. I don't think there's a way they can make it in.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. It looks like the map choice has already been decided. Junkertown is going to be where we are headed for possibly our final map of the evening. Based on what Lynx Esports has been playing this evening, I can't say that I'm surprised with both Rosen and Ryan coming in typically as a double sniper composition. Absolutely beautiful to be able to use on First Point in Junkertown. It looks like we are going to have a sub come in, though. Mark is going to be swapping out for Bujinji. I hope I'm saying that right. Looking to take up one of those tank roles, I'm assuming. And other than that, it looks like Venomous is going to stick with the team. No secret coming out for this fight. So I'm definitely going to be interested to see if Lynx Esports, with now this new tank player in their lineup, will be able to take this map and bring us to a map 5.
Yeah, again, I can't stress enough how important this is for both of these teams. It's essentially a must-win for both of them. Stage 2 is very short, and this team also has, this pool also has a team that has dropped out. So everyone is going to get a forfeit win against Maximize, and the other matches are just worth so much as far as getting through. And this is Pool D. So the bottom 2 teams in this pool, Maximize and one other, will be knocked out, not advance to the playoffs. That will be it. So Lynx hoping to avoid probably the shortest season on record. I'm not sure there's any team that has
2
played.
games.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Okay, so I forgot that Animus also dropped out. So I think that Lynx should also get through, is what Cav is telling me. If Cav's saying it, it's probably true. So still a lot on the line as far as seeding. But yeah, not the dire. Yeah, they would be the lowest seed if they finish at the bottom of the screen.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. It looks like we do see some similar compositions coming out once again. Meccan and Blungy deciding to take up the double sniper with Manio on that Mercy. Rosen and Ryan, though, using that Hanzo Mei composition that we've been seeing a little bit from them. Both teams still sold on that double shield comp, so it's going to come down to the damage of the DPS to see who's going to break through those shields first. But right now, that cart is moving furiously fast. All those shields are going down for the side of Venomous right now as they continue to try to hold on. It looks like we are already going to see ultimates coming up for either side. First pick coming in for Ryan as they take down Meccan, but the Bob already on the field for Blungy, moving their way into the backline. Big Boop does have the Amp Matrix online, but Mr. O and Blungy just cleaning up the cart right now with Bob working in that backline. Ends up clearing the cart with 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and you kind of see the difference in the compositions here. So on the offense, Lynx are running the Mei. It is not something that Venomous have. So they have to respect the fact that if they step out of line, they could all get frozen and killed pretty easily. But that means they're giving up a ton of space here. So I think even though they lost the first fight, things went very well there for Lynx, as Venomous basically can't lose this next fight, or they will advance the point to the gates.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. The Animatrix story coming out from Big Boop as the Maywall looking to give them some additional space to move into. We see Fine on that high ground looking to grab some value, as we see now the Gravitic Flux comes out, ends up taking down Big Boop. Is Fine getting the double kill onto Joe and Bujinji right there. They're going to go ahead and clear the cart once again as the Bongos solidify that. 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
Yeah, it looks like the game here is avoid Rosen. Anywhere Rosen is walking, waving that Ice Blaster around, people just have to get out of his way. He is bullying and making a lot of space, but this is a good composition to deal with that at long range from Venomous. So, very interesting, rock, paper, scissors here, but it looks like they're handling it pretty well. Joe dropping the Bongo, though, this is really going to put a lot of pressure on Cheese.
That's true, and Ryan Ore getting the first pick as the Transcendence holding everyone together as the Dragons get popped out right there. Window also coming up, but the Blizzard gets traded, but not a lot of follow-up. Pain only being able to get a pick there on to Absent, but that'll end up getting rezzed up. Ryan, though, coming in to do the damage despite the Blizzard being down, ends up getting the double kill. Fujinji getting a kill onto Mechan as well, and they're going to go ahead and grab the cart, pushing it into objective 1 here. Fine continuing to hold on, though, as the lone Sigma going to end up getting taken down by the Big Boop, though, and just a little less than a minute, they will make their way into the game.
Yeah, and kind of showing the weakness of this double shield. If either shield or hero rather goes down, the other one is not going to be able to keep you up. So with just Mistro on the Orisa, they were able to bust that shield repeatedly and just kind of walk all over. So super important after Fine got picked off there. Looks like Dragon coming in a little late after the pull. Only able to get one, but that's still big.
It is huge, and Rosen able to follow up on Mistro as well. The Bob comes out, but despite the rest, Big Boop will take down Blungy, and it's a trade, kill for kill right there. It's a Gravitic Flux coming out from Fine, looking to see if they can hold it together, allows Minkin and Blungy to go ahead and clear the cart with those arrows and dynamite. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, this is a very difficult portion of the map to push into for Lynx Esports. We'll see if they try to take another approach or just say, look, they don't have as many ultimates available now. Maybe we'll able to do it. But it looks like they will be opting to clear the high ground first. But Mechan able to pick off the big headshot there.
That's going to be a huge way to start as the Bongos now coming up for Mistro, working their way into that tight package. The lamp ends up going down there for Big Boop, but they will continue to hold strong, just shaving second after second off the clock. Blungy able to get that pick on Rosen coming right out of the spawn doors, and they will continue this high ground fight. I think Lynx is going to have to think about a different direction to attack the objective.
Yeah, and it looks like some people do get pulled off or drop there. Not quite sure what's going on. The tanks for Lynx seem to be running back and forth now. Okay, so they will be opting to push through the high ground again. Yeah, Mechan with the dragon available. We've seen so many big dragon strikes tonight. Here comes another.
Oh, Gravitic Flux comes in, as well as the trade on the Dragons, taking down Rosen. Blungy sending the Bob into the backline as well, is going to end up getting all the kills that they need. 60 seconds remaining on the clock as the cart continues to move back to the front gate.
Yeah, and I believe the Bujinji, rather, even got all 6 there from the defense, but it just doesn't matter if you have the lamp available in protecting your entire team. The Gravitic Flux is not an initiation that's going to matter as long as that is up. What will matter, though, is they pull out the res from Mayo. That could make a difference coming down the line here. 30 seconds left. This is basically last fight for Lynx.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. They're waiting for the respawn there from Pain. That Transcendence is going to be huge for them. Fine, looking to take the high ground right there above the objective as they go ahead and start making their way in. Sonic Arrow letting everybody know what is going on. Is Fine continuing to hold that high ground alone. The bongos now coming out from Joe as overtime ticks away. The Transcendence ends up getting popped as Bujinji ends up falling. Bob now on the objective, looking to see if they can get those picks as Rosen and Ryan trading out, getting Fine and Blungy right there. Meccan will use the Storm Arrow to take down Big Boop, but it is coming up red, folks. That cart is moving pretty quickly forward, but now Bob moving its way onto the objective. Blungy gets the double kill, and they clear the objective. 66 meters right in there before objective 2 is captured.
Yeah, and it looks like Lynx was having a lot of problems there dealing with the high ground. It's so difficult to deal with a Baptiste just hiding these lamps in positions where you can't deal with them. It felt like barely anybody was getting picked off from Venomous because of the defensive res from the Mercy, the great lamp placement coming out from Absent. And whenever shields got low, he just said, okay, it's punish time, and dropped that window. So a lot of answers there with the lineup that Venomous chose to run. And they're looking in a great position here to close out this map, this match rather, heading into their offense. Basically halfway through point B, totally doable. We'll see if they stick onto this double sniper. I think Ash and Hanzo are basically snipers, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, Hanzo also basically hits scan. He checks a lot of boxes. I think that's why a lot of people not happy about Hanzo sometimes. But yeah, he's just a great hero overall. And it looks like they're going to be going pulled pork on the defense. I think they might be playing this one close, but okay, so they do opt to play the first choke. This is, in my opinion, the worst possible place. I would rather they played very close or past the second bridge. They are vulnerable right now, but they do get a pull onto Fine.
That is going to be huge as Joe Ore starting off with the first pick, if you don't count the Torb turret right there. They're going to continue to hold on as Rosen on that high ground and picking off Meccan, trying to sneak around that right side. Joe able to get the pick onto Manio as well. 30 seconds off the clock as we see a regroup for another push.
Yeah, and again, an interesting response. Okay, you have Mercy, you have Baptiste. We're just gonna pull you out of that defensive zone and kill you over here. So I like the answer coming in from Lynx. It's a bit volatile though. You have to keep hitting those hooks. And Joe saying, "I can do that." Oh,
yeah, but they're gonna get shut down right there by Absent using a lamp of their own to keep the team alive. But with the turret and lamps continuing to go down, now here comes the window, looking to see if they can open it up, but the dynamite and accretion will go ahead and shut any value that window could have got, just way too close to the enemy team. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock for Venomous.
Yeah, and this does put them in a bad situation here for Lynx on the defense. It's going to be difficult to touch this point before it hits the gate. It is always a terrible decision to make because you don't want to give up second point for free, but Joe able to get a huge pick onto them.
That's huge, but already the window and Bob coming out right there. Rosen, though, bringing out the sights, ends up getting one in the back line. Big Boop, Payne, and Rosen end up falling there in the end. Objective 1, rather, is captured with another 2.5 minutes added to the time bank.
Yeah, and this is why it's such an awful, gut-wrenching decision to make. Do we try to contest as they are coming through the gate? They're not able to get it, and now, unlike Lynx on their push, Venomous starts with high ground advantage here. They're going to get to shoot down with this double sniper on top over those shields. It's going to be very difficult to stop. 4 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, and the hook ends up missing there for Joe as they try to get back to the safety of the team. The Holt holding them out ends up getting dynamited as well. The high ground now being taken advantage of as Brian coming online with that Molten Core. The Dragon Strike from Meccan ends up getting the double though, as the Whole Hog now coming out with the Transcendence, looking to see if they can push anyone and everyone off the cart. The Bongos will end up falling there in the end, but not a pick to be had from those, from that Whole Hog right there. Joe coming out, ends up getting the pick onto Meccan, but the Gravitic Flux ends up getting to Pain. Last one to fall. The Molten Core not able to do a dang thing except lay out the red carpet for Venomous's win. 3-1 this evening on Junkertown.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty good performance from both sides. I have to call out a great performance from Joe. Just about every tank I saw, he was doing a great job. Meccan, Lungy. There's really nobody I'm disappointed with. I think it was just superior teamwork from Venomous. I feel like they had better lineup choices, better strategy decisions. I just like what they were doing there. I think they are still one of the lower SR teams in the Transcendence tier, but they continue to punch well above their weight. Just doing a great job with the coordination and showing that that's what matters in a team game like Overwatch.
Well, I definitely agree with you there. If I were to pick a player of the match myself, I would probably go with Absent. Whether it be on the Moira or the Batiste this evening has been showing to be a huge value in the support category for Venomous, just continuing to keep those lamps just a little bit out of reach from Lynx Esports, as well as providing a lot of support and damage for their team to effectively win this evening. Absent, you're walking away with my player of the match, and we encourage you in the chat to go ahead and let us know what y'all are, who y'all support as your player of the match for this evening as well. Coming up on the schedule for this upcoming week, for Tuesday, we have in the Harmony Division Paradise versus DDoS. Thursday evening, we have in the Discord Division Illusion versus Beer Pressure. And on Friday evening, we will have Havoc and Exiles in the Transcendence Division. I'm Captain Jack, joined by Juke on the analyst role, as well as Cavalier coming in, doing an incredible job on production. We have been the Overwatch Tranquility Tournament, and we'll see y'all next time.
Sorry, just going to jump in. Not sure if you mentioned, but Pugs will be coming up right after this match finishes airing. Come check out our Pugs. It should be right in the Discord, I believe, in the matchmaking channel. And yep, that is it. Thanks for the great game, guys.